This is Loyalist Lancer Sports in 35. Women's volleyball, the quarterfinal elimination game versus the Niagara Knights from Saturday, February 17th. Stephen Schill and Caleb Seguin with the call of the game.
Georgie Williams with the serve, and it looks like almost a service ace off the beginning, but it's not. Niagara picks it up off a nifty little start. Taylor Baker swings into a block. Niagara here to reset, and they don't do anything as Dymar just does a little nice tap down in front of the net. Williams with another serve. First touch is coming through for Nicholson. And a big swing come by from Sam Cormier again. As Niagara serving now. Kylie Baxter serves over. Erickson with the first touch. Williams to Dymar, swings into the front line. Loyalist resets here. It's Terwilliger, popped up by Kelly. Williams, backline, and Scott goes for a little bit of a tap. Niagara keeps it alive after it goes off the block, and the Lancer Dome here playing a part. It's going to touch the roof and be Lancer point. Baker with the serve, first touch. Nicholson again. Going to be the far side from us, and Cormier popped up by Williams. Baker takes that. Going to be set for not too heavy of a swing. Not sure if that caught the Lancers there, but the referee is going to say that there was a lift call on the play. Now Cormier with the serve tied up at 2 apiece. Serves over, and that's going to be out. So Lancer gets the points. Takes the lead 3-2 with Dymar back to serve. Dymar serve, and that's going to go out. So back-to-back missed serves for both teams. Montana Taylor here. And Williams here sets Cudmore that goes into the block of Niagara. Taylor with another serve. Goes into the net there. Now going to be Terwilliger as that serve goes into the net. Taylor Elizabeth here. Knights down the lead 5-4. Serves over. Erickson with the first touch that's way too hard. Goes off the rafters here. Serves over. Terwilliger with the first touch. Williams resets Terwilliger. Spins on that one. They're going to just paint the corner. Sierra Scott. The heavy serve here. Niagara's having to scramble. See Nicholson just dump it over. Williams here setting Cudmore. Has to step back a little bit to get that. We popped up here. Nicholson to the far side. And Matthias. Terwilliger. Williams goes for the dump. Popped up quickly by Taylor. Nicholson to the outside again as Matthias. I believe that went off Cudmore. Still alive here for the Lancers. Going to be Terwilliger that swings on it. Far side that goes into the blocking side of the Lancers. I think Cudmore got on that swing from Matthias. Scott, the serve. Niagara pops it up. It's going to be to the closest side here. And us and Baxter with the touch. Baker sends it back over to Niagara side where they're going to reset here. Going to be Matthias. That guy I think went off the Lancers and out of bounds there. So it's going to be Niagara point. But Cowie, Scott with the first touch. Push back to Terwilliger, who just stands and hits it into the block of Niagara. Lancers reset here. Terwilliger again for a second effort, but doesn't get enough curve on that ball, and that's going to go out. Cowie, Niagara up 8-6. Robertson with that first touch. Going to be Terwilliger now to send it over. It does so. Popped up very high. Would have hit the rafters if it was just over to the side, but it doesn't. Baker and Cudmore end up hitting that block. Erickson goes diving for it to keep it alive, but Lancers at the risk of touching it for Cowie. Just over the net. Diving Terwilliger. Kelly on that first touch going to be set here from Taylor, who just decides to dump it over. And now Williams tries to do a center option. Niagara blocks that ahead of time. Cormier in the front line. Terwilliger sending that one. And great placement and awareness by Terwilliger. Charlie Cudmore here. Hard serve comes through. Going to be in the front to Cormier. Popped up by Scott of the Lancers. Going to be the far side to Baker. Just floats that over. Matthias goes into the block of the Lancers, and that just goes out of bounds there. So going to be point for Niagara. Sophia Matthias. A bit of an awkward serve there from Matthias. She put it up, and I guess she just didn't swing her arm fast enough.
No, I think she just threw it behind her there.
10-8 in favor of Niagara. But the big swing coming through from Baxter, who sends that out of bounds. The Lancers now within one. Georgie Williams. The top over from Baxter. Going to be Terwilliger. As we see Matthias try to swing on that, not getting a hand. Georgie Williams with a serve for Loyalist. Serves over and good first touch by Baxter. Picked up by Taylor. Blocked at the front line from Dymar. The swing comes through from Cormier. That's kept alive here. As, spoke a little bit too soon. Dymar there trying to pop it up, but ends up just kind of pushing it over the net as the first touch was really, really close to the net there. As we see the serve from Baxter, who's one of them. Lancers keep the first touch alive after some panic. And there's a block there from the Lancers, but they're not able to get that second touch as it falls just in front of them. So Niagara now goes up by 2, 12-10. Baxter serves a bit too hard there. Great communication for the Lancers. Taylor Baker here with the serve. First touch Nicholson. Out up by Taylor. I think that was Cormier with the touch. Lancers here. Williams just decides to dump it out, puts that one out of bounds. Niagara in the lead 13-11 here as we see Sam Cormier back to serve. And again, as we see a little bit of an awkward hit from Matthias that goes into the net. Matthias on the first touch. See Cowie hit it over. Cudmore to Scott. Nicholson. Taylor goes for the dump. It's going to be Williams now to Terwilliger, who goes the same. Popped up by Taylor. Nicholson. Matthias swings on that hard. Taylor let that one fall. Thought that was out of bounds, and it wasn't. Montana Taylor here for Niagara. Again, 157 points on the season, which is the lead for Niagara, and that serve's going to be out of bounds. Terwilliger here with the serve. As Matthias goes into a huge block of Cudmore and Williams. And we're tied up at 14 apiece. Terwilliger's serve, it's a little hard there. It goes out. Taylor Elizabeth. The Knights are up 15-14 in this first set. Terwilliger on the first touch. Williams, maybe to Cudmore. Swings on that one hard. And gets the point. As we see Sierra Scott back at the line. Tied 15 apiece. Scott served a little bit wonky off to the side. Pliech with the serve here for Niagara. Scott on the first touch. It's going to be Cudmore. Swings on that one. Niagara keeps it alive. The touch. Matthias tries to get it over, but I think just overshot the way she wanted to swing at that and puts it in the net. Tied at 16 apiece here. It's Cudmore now. Serves over. Baxter on that first touch on the far side. And Matthias goes off the Lancer block and out of bounds. So point Niagara. Matthias gets pulled out to have Bickford serve. As Dymart swings into the heavy block of Niagara. And the Lancers end up sending it immediately back over. So Niagara up now 18-16. Bickford, Scott, Williams to Dymart, and paints that one down. Williams here as Niagara gets that point, just sliding through the block of the Lancers. 19-17 in favor of the Knights. Baxter with the serve. Scott, Williams, Dymart tries to go for an option of a little put to the side. Niagara's able to keep that alive, and a great block from the Lancers on the swing of Taylor. Going to be Sierra Scott trying to respond. And Dymart gets a touch on it, but just kind of swings her arm out and goes off the rafters here, so another point for Niagara. There's setter number 2, Montana Taylor, in her 4th year. As we got an ace coming through from Baxter off of Erickson. Coming back in the middle of a rally here as Baxter's serve is over. Lancers respond not too heavily and kind of a free ball here as Terwilliger's now going to pick it up. To Williams to the outside, and Scott in the back line, and Scott able to paint that as we see several Knights making a dive for that. Hudson with the serve. Nicholson on that first touch. Going to be Matthias. Or excuse me, I believe that was set by Bickford. Excuse me. 21-19 here. Niagara's leading this first set. Hudson with the serve that's over. Popped up by Elizabeth. Kept alive by Taylor. Lancers getting a free ball here. It's going to be Williams. It's going to set Dymart. Goes for a little bit of a tap instead of a big swing. Niagara able to respond, but they're not able to do so too well as Loyalist is going to get a free ball and reset this. As Terwilliger with a big swing on that. Popped up from Bickford. And now Elizabeth just taps it over again. Lancers getting multiple occasions here to get some big swings on it. And Niagara ends up winning the point on that set from a great block on the front line. Bertrand to serve here. Lancers trail 22-19. Robertson pops it to the side, almost goes in the crowd. Terwilliger keeps it alive. Robertson swings it back. Bickford on the touch. Out to Taylor on that first side. Terwilliger tries spinning that down, kept alive. Taylor swings that to the back. Baker making a running effort to keep it alive. And now Scott tries to paint the back corner, and Sierra Scott. All right, waiting for the serve here from Alyssa Dymart after that timeout from Niagara. Loyalist trails by 2 first to 25 and 22-20. Favor of Niagara, and Dymart misses the serve.
That's a coach's point right there.
See Montana Taylor. Serve hits the net and goes just over. Williams here to the back line, and Taylor. Taylor swings on that, hits the block from Niagara, and Baxter from that block recipient just kind of sends that out of bounds. Terwilliger with the serve. Baxter with the pop-up. Going to be Nicholson here to Matthias. Robertson to Cudmore, who taps it. Popped up by Taylor. Nicholson to the far side. Elizabeth just pushes it over. Terwilliger responds, doing the exact same. Niagara here to set up. It's going to be Cowie on the front. It goes to the block of Cudmore and Williams. And Lancers score that point. Serves over as a hard one, but popped up by Baxter to the outside. And Elizabeth, who ends up painting the far back corner. What an unbelievable shot. Elizabeth now at the line for Niagara. Set point. Serves over. Terwilliger on the first touch. Going to be Erickson. Resets Terwilliger on the back line. Terwilliger swings on that and puts that out. Niagara takes the first set 25-22. Matthias here with the first serve for Niagara. Terwilliger. Going to be Scott in the back line. It goes in the block in front of Niagara. Loyalist is trying to keep it alive. Robertson pops it up after the Lancers are resetting here. And Terwilliger with a big swing. Nicholson now to Baxter. And a good block there as Baxter kind of just moved towards that, but didn't get enough strength, realizing it was going to potentially come back to her there. So Lancers get the first point of the set. Williams, Elizabeth, Taylor. Baxter hits it over Lance. Just keep it alive from a great effort from Williams. Going to be Scott in the back line that goes to the front line of Cormier and Taylor. Williams sets the back to Terwilliger, and Matthias with a high pop that hits the roof there. And Lancers start off the second set 2-0. Williams with the serve. That's a bit short, and Georgie Williams with the ace. Williams with the serve. Elizabeth with the first touch. Taylor here to Matthias, and Scott and Williams kind of collide into each other there on that first touch. As we see Baxter now for the Knights. Robertson, Williams here, it's going to set to Terwilliger, who swings that on the front line of Niagara. Lancers resetting, going to be Terwilliger with a second effort, and ends up getting called on the out there. Looked like that was a very, very close call. They're in the lead, but just by 1-3-2. Baxter with the serve. Scott with the pop-up. Williams to Dimart, who shoves it over Matthias. Elizabeth. And Lance is going to get that point. Taylor serves good as Cormier dives to keep it alive after the first touch was a little bit awkward. And the referee's going to say that Niagara touched the net, so Lance is get a free point. Baker with the serve. It's a hard floater, but ends up going out of bounds there. Sam Cormier now for Niagara. That's that first touch to Scott. Matthias pops it up for Niagara. Cormier just shoves that to the back line. And Baker saves off that one, thinking that was going to go out, and the referee says that that one was in here. 5-4 here for the Lancers. Cormier's serve that ends up going out there. Robertson was looking at that the entire way. Leaves it last second and was the right call. Dimart here with the serve. Lancers up 6-4. Serves over hard and good. Matthias ends up putting that one out. So an ace for Melissa Dimart. Dimart, serve that's over. Baxter with that first touch. It's a little bit awkward. Elizabeth takes it, but to Cowie. There's a free ball over, and Dimart with way heavy of a touch there. We're going to see Montana Taylor here with a laser shot that Terwilliger is able to handle on that first touch. That swings on it afterwards, goes into the block side of Niagara. They got a second block on that. Cudmore trying to just get it over. Now Niagara's turn to set it up. Matthias swings on a Robertson first touch. Baker to Scott. There's a free ball to Niagara. Taylor set up to Cowie. Cowie the swing that goes on to Cudmore. That might have gone out, but Nicholson touching that. So I get another effort here as Matthias with it. That floats off the net with an awkward little spin as Terwilliger was diving for it. It's going to be point Niagara. At the line here for Niagara, Montana Taylor. The heavy serve comes through. Terwilliger on that first touch. Williams now to Cudmore. Tries to tap that down. Goes into the block of Cowie. And now the same thing happens again just to the side. And Scott going up against Matthias, I believe. That could have been Taylor. Pardon me if I mixed up the names there. But Lancers walk away with that point. 8-6 now. Terwilliger will serve Nicholson. Taylor Elizabeth with a hard swing that Robertson pops up. Lancers give a free ball in Cudmore. Taylor here. Matthias with a big swing that goes off the Lancers block and inbounds. We'll see Robertson to Williams. Goes for a quick dump, but Taylor is there to answer. And referee's going to award the point, saying that there was a lift on Niagara. Sarah Scott now for the Lancers in the lead at 9-7 to serve. Nicholson on the first touch. Going to be Taylor. Matthias finds a big swing and paints the corner. And Baker trying to swing on that, but just puts that out of bounds. So another point for Niagara here, and they're tied up at 9. Anna Cowie. Terwilliger on that first touch. Going to be set to Terwilliger again. He tries to get that down. Cowie the serve. Scott on the first touch. Going to be set to Cudmore. Swings on that one. Going to be Baxter now. Ends up going through the front blocking line of Williams and Cudmore. Cowie, Terwilliger almost runs into Scott, but ends up taking that one. Baker shoves it over. Cowie on the first touch. Taylor on the inside of Cormier. He rises high for it. And Terwilliger keeps it alive for a second, and it looked like that might have fallen inbounds on Niagara's side, but it doesn't. Niagara in the lead now at 12-9. And the serve from Cowie goes into the net. 12-10. Cudmore. Heavy serve that ends up going out. So back-to-back missed serves. Rachel Bickford. Robertson pops up. Going to be Williams here. Going to be set to Dimart, who goes for a little bit of a dump in. But Bickford goes sliding to keep that alive. Baxter to Terwilliger. Now it's going to be Scott. And Nicholson. It's a diving attempt. It's going to fall just a little bit short. Williams. It's going to be Taylor. Lynch's bench call that out. Williams lets that fall. Going to be set here to Baxter. Just pushes that over Robertson. Now it's going to be Hudgen, who tries to tap that over, but swings too hard. Puts that out. Niagara in the lead 14-12. Baxter serves over Scott. Williams, he sets a Dimart, swings on that, and Cormier getting the block and the point. Baxter serves over Scott. Robertson going to help set on that one. It goes into the block from Scott. I think that was Cormier again, but that ends up going off Cormier and out of bounds. So Lance is going to get the point on that. We're going to see Hudgen back to serve. Elizabeth, almost with a little bit of an awkward set with Bickford, able to pop it up and keep it alive. We're going to see Terwilliger send that back and paint the side. Caught Nicholson watching, but sheesh, that must have been right on the line. And huge power swing by Terwilliger. Hudgen, another serve. Elizabeth to Taylor, who swings on that and puts that out. So now a little bit of a momentum change here as the Lancers tie this one up at 15. Montana Taylor there getting a quick point for Niagara, and that's all that you missed during that quick break. Pleasure having you back. So you see Sam Cormier as Niagara leads 16-15 in this second set with the serve that's over. Robertson on the first touch. Williams to Scott. Cormier down to respond. Going to be Elizabeth, and the referee going to make a call here saying it was a two-touch on that set attempt. Back tied up at 16. Dimer, serve, Baxter, and the rest of Niagara kind of caught watching there. I'm surprised Montana didn't go charging for that. Dimer with another serve here, and it's going to be an ace after a mishandle there from Taylor. And the Lancers starting to feel a little bit here in the second set, 18-16. Dimer, another serve here that just goes over. It looks like Lance is going to be able to respond. Cudmore tries putting it back. Niagara keeps it alive. Going to be Montana Taylor, who shoves it over. But the referee is going to give the point over to the Lancers, saying that it fell or there was a lift. There's Taylor with the serves over. Robertson on the first touch. Williams goes running for that. They have to just put it over. Diving up from the back line to Baxter. They keep it up. Elizabeth taps it over. Lancers go scrambling for it. Erickson does indeed keep this one alive for the Lancers, and Cowie swings that into Williams. Going to be on the outside to Terwilliger, who ends up painting the front corner and getting the point. Allison Terwilliger. 19-17 in favor of the Lancers. Serve from Terwilliger ends up getting shot straight back to the Lancers side to do something with it. It's going to be Scott with the kill. Terwilliger on a little bit of a run here from the service line. Serves over a little bit hard. So Niagara getting it back. Going to be Elizabeth at the line. That might have gone out, but Terwilliger still getting a hand on that. Scott trying to keep it. Both teams kind of scrambling here as Nicholson pops it over. Lancers reset. Going to be Williams to Cudmore in a running effort, and ends up getting that through off the block from Niagara. Scott with the serve. Elizabeth with the first touch. Going to be Baxter now to swing on that one. Might have been out, but Scott again gets a hand on it. So Terwilliger swings that back. Elizabeth, a double touch there from Niagara, kind of. Both of them running into each other. But the play is still alive as Scott tries to hit that onto the side over that, but isn't able to. And they end up serving into the net. Cudmore here with a heavy serve. Elizabeth on that first touch has popped up. Taylor now to Matthias. Now Lynch is trying to respond. Williams sets Hudgen. Ends up hitting the front block there of Matthias and Cormier. And that falls kind of the back. I mean, great placement for the block. Finds the back corner of the Lancers court. Lynch is still in the lead though, 22-20 with Matthias at the line for Niagara. Williams, Terwilliger again. Again, from that back line, having a tough time really getting over that ball. Williams going to set Dimart here, who ends up not getting a good swing on it. Not sure if it was an awkward set or awkward jump there. But either way, Ryan Stone is noticing such as we're tied up at 22 apiece, taking a timeout. Coming off a quick little rally there, Terwilliger was able to laser it to the back line. Elizabeth gets that knocked off to the side and out of bounds there. So Lancers get the point, 23-22 here. You see the ball's back in play here for the Lancers. You're right on the Williams serve. That's good. Matthias pops it up high. I was gonna go back to the Lancers side. Lancers give a free ball over to the side of Niagara. And Montana Taylor taps that down on the front. The Lancers weren't able to get a good block on that. Was Hudgen. Baxter with a serve that's over. Robertson pops it up. Gonna be Williams. The Dimar tries to paint the back corner, and Matthias makes a reaching effort to get that. As we see Baxter, who is behind her, ready to dive on it, but Matthias wasn't able to get enough height on that. So it's going to be second set point here for the Lancers, up 24-23 with Taylor Baker at the line coming in for Anika Hudgen. Baker's serve. Matthias on that first touch goes for a little bit of a center option. Going to be Terwilliger trying to end it. Not able to do so. Nicholson keeps it alive. Elizabeth swings that back. Robertson pops it up beautifully. And Baker from the back line sends that over and puts that out of bounds. Tied up at 24 here. Serves over Robertson. Williams to Scott. Cormier. Taylor. Elizabeth. Scott keeps it alive. Williams pops up, gonna be Terwilliger. Sends it over Matthias, Taylor, Cowie. Trying to shove that. Maybe he sets a Scott, who paints that one down. Lance is able to reset here. They try to just shove that over. Thinking that it was the play. Ends up not being the case, and that great front line from Niagara ready for it, as Niagara is on set point. 25-24, Sam Cormier serves over and good. Robertson on the first touch. Gonna be Williams, gonna set Terwilliger. Terwilliger with a big swing. Matthias keeps it alive. Taylor, the nifty little tap over. And now Williams sets to Dymart. Popped up by Baxter and Matthias trying to set the far side. Elizabeth. Lance is able to reset now. Gonna be Williams to Terwilliger. Terwilliger with a big swing on it. Matthias sends it back to the Lancers court. Robertson, Williams, gonna set to Scott here, and Scott swings on that. Big block from Niagara, who just shoves it back to the Lancers side, so Lancers are able to reset. It's going to be Terwilliger, and that's going to fall out. Dymart serve Matthias. Taylor sets up Cowie, who shoves that, and Williams and Baker collide on that, and the Lancers aren't able to make anything of that. Now back to set point here with Montana Taylor with the laser serve. The Terwilliger pops up, gets reset by Williams, and able to swing on that. The Lancers are going to need to rely heavily here on Terwilliger. Serves over. Nicholson with the first touch. Elizabeth on the far side, going to be Cowie that gets it. Williams going to set Cudmore. Goes into the block there of Niagara, and the referees give the point to the Lancers, saying they touched the net. Lancers now with the set point on the line. Terwilliger at the line. Serves over and goes into the net. Elizabeth now for Niagara. Terwilliger, Williams, be setting Scott here. It goes off the block and gets the point. Now it's Sarah Scott at the line. Lancers back on set point. Serve goes out of bounds again. Tied up at 28. Cowie with the serve. It's over. Scott. Gonna be Terwilliger for the back line with a laser shot. Elizabeth pops up that Taylor isn't able to take as it kind of almost hits her. Cudmore here, the set point on the line, puts that one out. We do have several specialists on the bench. Then for serving, Lancers. Pressure definitely getting to them here, at least on the service line. Matthias with the serve that's high. Popped up from the Lancers. Gonna be Dymart who ends up painting that. I think going off the block there. Williams here with the serve that's in. Baxter pops it up. Cormier trying to move. It's going to be a free ball. Niagara puts that and gets a point. Again, referee's going to say it's a two-touch. So Lancers tie the series up at 1 apiece. Lancers take the second set 31-29. As we're off with this third set, Georgie Williams with the serve. And Niagara having a little bit of a miscommunication right off the bat.
With double aces back-to-back. She's got 3 aces on the game today. And
Williams with her third service. And Nicholson hits that. Taylor pops it over. Lancers scramble to keep it alive. Gonna be Baker here with a big swing. Lands a pain in the back corner. As Williams with the serve. Elizabeth on that first touch. Gonna be Taylor set to Cormier. Goes off the block of Dymar. Lancers reset here. Williams with the set to Terwilliger, who just dumps that over. Nifty little clean. Don't need that swing. Lancers in the lead 4-0 here. Williams continuing to serve Nicholson on that first touch. Taylor sets that one to Baxter with a big swing. Sierra pops that up. Sierra Scott, who gets that back over. Matthias on that first touch, going to be Taylor to Baxter. And Robertson now going to be to Terwilliger, who decides to swing on that one. And the front block from Niagara, they're able to push that back and ends up going out of bounds. So Niagara puts that one out, and the Lancers start this third set 5-zip. Williams on her 6th serve of the start of this. Nicholson, Taylor, Matthias. Williams keeps it alive. Robertson here is setting up Terwilliger with the jump. Oh, again. That one not able to get the ball down. Ends up going out, and that's going to be the first point of this set for Niagara. Baxter, Robertson, Williams to Dymar, and a great effort from Robertson, who's there for that block and able to put that one back. But Baxter, Baker sending that to Scott, who rolls that off in the net and in. Baker serves over and good. Matthias, going to be Taylor to the front, and Cormier fires that one out of bounds. The serve's over and good. It's going to be Cormier who ends up putting that one away. So Cormier with the serve. Lancers up 7-3. Williams sets it to Dymart. That swings off the block from Niagara, but the referee is going to call the play dead, saying Niagara touched the net on that. Dymart with the serve. Nicholson on the first touch. Taylor are going to set that one. Going to be Elizabeth, who doesn't get a great swing on that, but they're going to call the point to Niagara, saying that the Lancers touched the net. Montana Taylor now for the Knights. Robertson with the pop-up. Going to be set for Terwilliger. Gets a big swing on that one. Niagara dying to keep that alive and unable to. Great set by Williams and better finish by Terwilliger. Lancers lead 9-4. Hard serve coming through. Williams now sets to Scott. It goes in the block of Niagara that goes out of bounds. The point here for the Lancers. Scott, the serve for the Lancers, and that one's going to go out. So we're running into service woes here. Cowie for Niagara. Serves over Terwilliger in that first touch. Williams. Now it's Terwilliger, swings on that one heavily and gets that point. See Cudmore for the Lancers. Serves hard, and that one's going to go out. So we have 3 missed serves back to back to back. Matthias, the serve that's over. Terwilliger pops it up. Going to be Baker now. Things on that goes off the blocking side of Niagara. Going to be Baxter. Puts that one out of bounds. Lancers go up 12-7. Williams with the serve popped up by Nicholson. Taylor to Baxter, and Baxter gets called out there on the swing. I thought that was in for a second, but maybe. As Williams with another serve here. Going to be sent to Matthias. Ends up swinging that one a bit too far here. So some of the woes that affected us early in that first set now affect Niagara here.
Yeah, Niagara's just having trouble.
Williams with the serve, Nicholson with the pop-up. Taylor to Cormier. Doesn't get a big swing on that, but going to give the point over to Niagara as Lance is going to get called for touching the net. Kylie Baxter is going to be an ace for Baxter. Robertson sets Terwilliger on the far side. It goes down under the block of Niagara and falls on their side. 15-9, Loyalist ahead of Niagara. Baker with a heavy serve that's going to be out there. Sam Cormier now for Niagara at the line. Williams to Terwilliger. Terwilliger gets a big swing on it, and Allison Terwilliger with the kill. Dymart, the serve in that one is going to be out. We're going to see an ace coming through from Montana Taylor. 16-12. Loyalist is in the lead here over Niagara. Montana Taylor, the serve. Terwilliger on the first touch. Robertson puts that up to Terwilliger on the back line, gets a swing over, and it's good. Niagara now trying to set. It's going to be Matthias. Shoves it to the far backside, and Lancers end up having some massive miscommunication and letting that ball drop between Cudmore, Robertson, and Williams. Montana Taylor, again, serves over Robertson on the first touch, and that's going to be an ace. Robertson on the first touch. Williams going to be set here to Terwilliger. Terwilliger doesn't get too heavy of a swing on it. Nicholson with the dive. Going to be Matthias with the swing. A couple collisions over on the Lancer side, and Sierra Scott puts that one away off the blocking side of Niagara. Lancers up 17-14. Terwilliger gets a serve over, and Elizabeth pushes that out of bounds, but Robertson touched it. So now Niagara has a chance as they set up here to Cowie, who ends up swinging that one out. So no harm, no foul. As Lancers get that point, go up 18-14. Terwilliger with another serve, and now we're getting an ace coming out of Terwilliger. And Terwilliger with a big serve and another ace for Allison Terwilliger. Serves over. Another hard one the Baxter's able to handle, though. Going to be Matthias, who swings that into the net. And the referee's going to call it 2-touch on there. Another point for the Lancers. In the middle of a rally here that Sierra Scott puts a quick end to. Lancers get the point up 22-14 now. Terwilliger with a heavy serve that gets shot straight back to Lancers side that Baker was not able to handle. Bertrand now at the line again, recently checked in for Elizabeth. Serves over and good. Robertson, Williams. We sent to Cudmore on the run there. Well, that's going to fall short. Cudmore not happy with that one. The set looked a little bit off. Robertson handling that serve. Going to be Terwilliger from the back line. Taylor pops it up. Nicholson to Matthias. And Baker and Terwilliger run into each other. As we see Williams trying to keep that one in play, not able to do so. Serves over. Williams here to set. Going to be Scott. That's a little bit back, so doesn't get a big swing on it. Niagara now to answer, and a little bit of a dump over. Center option there for Montana Taylor. Great decision making. As we see the serve here from Niagara. Williams pops it up to Scott. Got a bit back and ends up getting the kill on that one. 23-18. Lancers 2 points away from taking this one. Scott with the serve. Going to be Matthias. Puts that over. Robertson. Williams now to Terwilliger, who gets a swing on it. Goes out the front blocking line of Niagara. Going to be Matthias on the far side. He gets a block down. Hudgen and Cudmore. So it's going to be a set point here for the Lancers. Scott with the serve. Going to be Cowie that tries to shove it over. Scott picks it up. Going to be Williams to Terwilliger from the back line. He swings on it. First touch by Montana. It's over. Baxter with it. Williams Gonna be Hudgen who tries to swing on that one. It goes down the block, and the Lancers get the point, and they move up 2-1, taking that set 25-18. It's gonna be starting this fourth set off with Niagara serving. It's gonna be Matthias at the line. Serve just drops over. That's gonna be an ace for Matthias. Matthias' serve. Scott with that first touch. Popped up to Terwilliger on the back line. Swings on it, not able to get it over. Goes into the net. Serves good. Taylor with it to Cormier, and a big block on the front line. It's Alyssa Dymart. Williams. It popped up by Baxter. A little bit of an awkward set that ends up going in as Cormier can't swing on it. Makes the decision just to tap it over and paints the open floor of the Lancers. Baxter, Robertson, Williams. Let's see, Dymart sends it back. Lancers have a free ball here to work with. Going to be to Terwilliger, who doesn't put too much power on it. Tries to hit the back corner with a little bit of a rolling shot, and that goes out. So Niagara goes ahead 4-2. Baxter, Scott. Williams sets Scott from the back line. Going to be Matthias, going to be a front line to play, and Dymart. Yeah, I mentioned at the end of that third set, where's Dymart? There she is. Baker, the serve that's over and good. Gonna be Cormier that goes off the blocking side there of the Lancers and in. Terwilliger tries swinging heavy on that. And the referee's gonna say that that went off of the block from Niagara. It did go out of bounds behind the court here. Gonna be Dymart with the serve that's good. First touch from Matthias. It's gonna be set to Cowie, and Cowie with a huge swing. It ends up rolling off the block from the Lancers here. So Niagara up 6-4. Taylor Montana. Williams going to be setting to Scott. Hits that one heavy, and that one's going to go out as it hits the side. Referee Baxter unable to handle that strength. Terwilliger, laser of a shot. Baxter's able to pop up Cowie here.
Watch the tip here.
It's going to be Robertson to Williams to Scott, and Scott swings on that one, and Sierra Scott. The past two games, Sierra Scott has been finding a rhythm. Terwilliger tied up at 6 apiece. Serves over, it's a laser, almost goes off the rafters here, but doesn't. Montana to Matthias, goes off the block of the Lancers. Robertson keeps it alive. Gonna be Scott, gonna have to be a free ball here. Luckily they get it over. Robertson pops up. Gonna be Matthias, doesn't get a swing on it. Terwilliger pops it up. Now Williams going against the side of Niagara, pops it up. And the Lancers, after a nifty little rally here, take the lead for the first time in this fourth set, 7-6. Terwilliger, another heavy serve coming through. Baxter with the first touch. Gonna be Taylor up to Matthias, goes off the block of Williams and Cudmore, and they're not able to handle the second touch. The Lancers go up 8-6. Terwilliger serves into the net on that one. Bertrand with the serve. Robertson on that first touch. Williams gonna be setting Scott here, and Scott sends that into the blocking side of Cowie, and Baxter. It's gonna be Niagara point. Bertrand. The serve, that one's going to go out. Terwilliger thought about it for a second, but lets it fall. Sierra Scott again, the serve. Taylor setting up Matthias here, goes off the block of Lancers. Now it's going to be Baker, who's not able to get enough height on that. Just puts it into the net. Cowie, Terwilliger pops it. Williams, going to be Scott in the back line. Finds the open court. Cudmore, Baxter, Taylor. Matthias, Terwilliger pops it up, and Williams tries to top that one down. It does. Georgie Williams with a quick thinking up at the net. Lancers up 11-9 here in this fourth set. Cudmore with the serve that's out. Referee's going to call a two-touch here against Niagara, so Lancers get that point. Williams with the serve to Nicholson. Taylor's going to set here to the front. Baxter tries to make an effort, but it's not a good set, so Lancers kind of get a freebie there at the front. They're up 13-10. That's Williams with the serve. Baxter pops it up, and a high set there. And Montana Taylor, who tries to arguably maybe do a little bit too much on that one. Georgie Williams with the serve. Immediate miscommunication from Niagara after that timeout. Lancers up 15-10. Williams, another serve. Nicholson takes this one. Let me set to Baxter. Gets a swing and just immediately puts that out of bounds. Baxter with a serve. Scott, Williams. Going to be Terwilliger with a big swing, but a bigger block on the other side. Niagara resetting here. It's going to be Taylor Montana. Tries to shut that down. Baker keeps it alive, and Scott from the back line. And Cormier up in the front of the net. That just puts it down and over. See Baxter with the serve. Robertson pops it up. It's going to be Dymart with a great effort from Nicholson that keeps it alive. As Taylor Montana sends it back. And Robertson keeps it in play. Baker giving a free ball. We talk from Bickford up to Sam Cormier, and a big block from Dymart to the front. Going to be Taylor Montana on the back. Sierra Scott pops it. Going to be Terwilliger now to try to respond. Both teams going Tack for tack, and a center option. Tries to go over. It's Brickford taking over, as you said, for Taylor Montana. Isn't able to get the set. Lancers get the point. They're up 17-12. Baker with the serve that goes over and immediately back to the Lancers side. So they get a free ball to work with. Georgie Williams to the far side. It's going to be Terwilliger who tries to place it in the back corner. Baxter on that first touch. Brickford up to the front. And Cormier. And a huge block from Alyssa Dymart. Baker. The serve that's over. Brickford to Bertrand. Lancers try to pop that one up. Dymart tries pushing it back. Cormier to reset. Brickford to Montana. Williams. Robertson to the front. Terwilliger tries to swing that over. Cormier with a great block at the front of the net. Baker. That is Dymart. It just gives the free ball back over. It's going to be Baker. Going to be set by Brickford to Cormier. And a big frontline block attempt is there, but it goes out of bounds. A point for Niagara. Robertson here. Terwilliger swings out to the back. Baxter with a touch. And a great effort that touches back over, but Niagara's not able to make anything of it, so Lancers going to get the point here. Dymart popped up here, and they let it fall. Niagara just watches that fall. Dymart here with the serve for the Lancers, and that goes immediately out of bounds. Serve from Montana Taylor. Terwilliger takes it. Williams had to go out a little bit to put it back in play. And Terwilliger with a big swing, but doesn't get enough. Terwilliger with the first touch. Williams tries pushing it back. Goes off the block side of Niagara. Cowie trying to play here. Ends up getting a free ball to the Lancer side here. Williams going to set here to Scott. And Scott fires that over and goes off the block and falls on the side of Niagara. So Lancers up 21-15, 4 points away from sealing the deal. Terwilliger, Baxter on the first touch to Matthias. Goes off the block. The Lancers and inbounds here. Williams sending Scott. Taylor pops that up. You see Matthias has to just give it over. Lancers with the free ball with something to work with here. Going to be Scott getting it again. And fires that. And Montana Taylor. The Lancers go up 22-16. Scott immediately given back to the Lancers here to work with. Lancers are trying to push it over, and they do. Cudmore at the front of the net. Scott moves over. Nicholson ends up shooting that into the net. And the Lancers are on match point. Scott with the server. And it's an awkward one. And the Loyalist Lancers are in the Final Four. Oh, my goodness.